Buongiorno and welcome to another episode of the Godfather Minute, starring me, Alex Robinson.
Starring me, Andy Robinson. Why are you so down today?
Me?
Yeah, you look terrible.
It's my voice. It's weak.
That was the most unenthusiastic
intro
I've ever heard.
You gotta mix it up sometimes. They can't all be, like super high yoga. You want me to read? Start over.
No. So are you saying?
Hey, it's me, Alex Robinson.
Did you purposely do it all down and out?
No.
Okay.
I think maybe my throat, my voice really is a little weak. So
what are you gonna do? What am I gonna do?
I really wanted that part on that podcast. I really thought it was
I know someone who can help with that.
That's really funny to imagine it taking place now, and Johnny's like, "Oh, there's this new podcast, and I'd be perfect for it."
Oh, it's all updated with modern
stuff, and
that would be great to do. Maybe that'll be a recurring theme.
Yeah.
If this were now, what would be happening in the story?
Oh, all right, totally.
Like
all right, let's do it.
All right,
okay.
So what happens in this minute, Alex?
Well, that's right. Well, first of all, we're talking about minute 30.
Yeah, that's right. Godfather Part II, minute 30. Alex, repeat after me. E minuto. Numero 30.
30.
That's it.
It's simple.
I think it's that.
30.
Yeah, it's easy.
Well, in minute 30, Deanna Corleone continues her slatternly dancing until she falls on the floor, and her drunken shrieks draw the attention of the entire party. Rocco tells the hapless Fredo that if Fredo doesn't get her under control, he will have to do it.
Mm-hmm. And we know what happens when Rocco takes people.
He does, and Fredo apologizes to Mikey.
Mm-hmm. Which he doesn't have to do, by the way, because he's his brother.
Now
I'm jumping right to the end.
I was going to ask you that.
Uh-huh.
Because is that true?
I think it depends who's the one.
I feel like I'm constantly apologizing to you, and I'm your brother. And I'm sorry, but that doesn't seem like it's fair.
You don't have to apologize. You don't have to apologize to me. You're my brother.
No?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Well, there we go. We wrapped that up.
All right. So. There we go. Hey, before we get started, when I was prepping for this minute, I do put some time in preparing.
Oh, I know.
I watch it. I rewatch it. I take notes. I look in the book. Mm-hmm. And I accidentally clicked on Godfather 1.
Oh, yeah?
And minute 30. And it was Walt's first meeting Hagen. Saying,
wow.
You think you're the first Goomba strongman coming in and muscle me? He's like, I haven't threatened you. I'm a lawyer. So I watched that, of course. It's such a good... Hagen's facial expressions while Waltz is kind of laying into him. This is pre-dinner party laying in. Tom Hagen's just it looks like he's been through this a million times. He's just rolling his eyes. He's trying to get words in, but he kind of waits because he knows the guy. He just has to sit through this. That was so great. And of course it ended with check them out.
So I'm surprised about that. That means that the communion goes on longer than Connie's wedding.
Yeah, significantly longer, right?
Well, also don't forget though, the first 5 minutes or so are Vito Vito in Sicily.
Yeah,
so we have to take that into account, but it's definitely longer.
Yeah.
So
well, this is a great minute.
It is.
We learn a lot through observation.
Yeah, so it picks up from where it left off last week with Mrs. Corleone, Fredo's lovely wife, the Academy Award-winning actress Deanna Dunn.
Which Troy Donahue really takes umbrage with.
What do you mean?
She's an Academy Award winner, or claims to be. Didn't we determine he's very jealous of that?
I did, but I don't remember why that... Oh, because...
He's just jealous because he has not won a Golden Globe or anything.
Wait, Donahue is jealous or Merle is jealous?
Merle, well, they're the same.
It's true, yeah. What layer do you want to get to?
Yeah.
Do you want to...
What makes it worse is Merle is there's only one person Merle is more jealous of than Deanna Corleone.
Who's that?
Troy Donahue.
Oh, I envy me.
Are you jealous of your persona, your Twitter persona? Anyway, so what you got for this minute?
Well, so Fredo comes over. She's making noise, dancing with that fella, and Fredo comes over and tries to start trying to wrangle her into.
She's like, "What's wrong? I just want to dance." He's like, "Dancing is one thing, but you're
falling all over the floor."
Yeah.
She has a weird. The actress, whose name I forget, has a weird way of pronouncing the sound. When she says, I just want to dance.
Yeah.
It's like a weird, and later on she says,
man.
"Oh, no, you're just jealous because you're not a real man."
Yeah, yeah, I noticed that. It seems really Hollywood.
Is it Hollywood or is it...
You know what, Alex? I think she's had vocal lessons. Because it sounds very, very old Hollywood. Yeah, they all had a real classic standard talking voice that people really didn't speak like. They really didn't. I think we talked about this at one point.
I don't know. Did they?
They did not speak that way.
But how do you know? You saw footage of someone not talking that way?
No, we saw some documentary or some biography about how people had to adopt this way of speaking because it was a standard on-film way you spoke.
Oh, because to be heard enough on film and everything.
Yeah, it was just. I don't know. I don't remember why. Yeah, maybe because it was just a matter of being heard.
I do.
Yeah, see, that's why everyone talked like this, all bright and enunciated.
Well, Fredo definitely sounds like he's talking like a 1930s gangster. You're falling all over the floor.
Yeah. So, yeah, see, you're gonna stand up on your feet. You're not gonna get drunk, and you're gonna be my wife, whether you like it or not.
Speaking of which, this is a sidebar already. But speaking of John Cazale, I finally bit the bullet and rewatched Dog Day Afternoon.
Oh, excellent!
At my home, at my leisure, where my children come and play with their toys. And
thumbs up or thumbs down?
A thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Right. Dog Day Afternoon. Okay. But interestingly, the first time I ever saw it, I felt like it started off really exciting and then just kind of got less exciting as the movie went on. And I felt the same way this time.
Oh, interesting. Huh.
The beginning of the movie is so much more exciting, and then it just kind of it builds up a bit, but I don't know, the tension kind of dissipates a bit more as the movie goes on.
Yeah. Huh.
But John Cazale, of course, and this is fresh off of GF2 because originally apparently oh my gosh, Al Pacino, didn't want to do it because he was so exhausted from having just done GF2. I always find that funny when actors say that they're like, "Oh, I'm just so exhausted from," and is it that hard really? Is acting really that hard that you're like, I can't do it? I guess it must be because, well, I don't know. Is it? I mean,
it's like you're playing make believe. Tell me, Alex, is that hard?
No,
I
can understand if it's like a Broadway show where it's like you have to do it every night and it's straight through and it's really like a endurance kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But Hollywood acting just seems like you're okay, you're waiting in your trailer for half the day, and then they go, okay, come on out, and you just walk 10 feet, and then you go, okay, I want to tell you something. They go, okay, let's just stop and reset everything.
Let's go back to Sicily. Let's look.
So I don't know. So
I think that's great that was the one line you picked. I was gonna jump in with something like, "You look terrible." That's it. All right, that's a wrap.
So I don't know if this is just like an actor's way of being like, oh, they just want more money, or they're holding out for something. But
maybe if you go back to back multiple movies,
I guess so.
I don't know.
But GF2 also is a lot of just again, I can understand if it was like a movie that had a lot of physical demands on you, but he's just standing around.
Or a lot of dialogue too. There's a lot of space in this movie.
Yeah, that's true.
And Michael doesn't say very much. Geary does all the talking in that previous scene. Turnbull's a good man. Hoo-ha. All right, cut. That's a wrap. Or maybe he saves the hoo-ha for after the wrap. All right, cut. That's a wrap. Hoo-ha.
You can tell how when he's getting tired, when the more hoo-has keep slipping into his dialogue.
Yeah.
All right, we have to wrap up by 4 because other than that, it becomes incomprehensible what he's saying. So
I've got it in my contract that every third hour and successive hour, I get to add more hoo-has. So you better wrap this up quickly, unless you want to have to do all that audio editing later.
What benefit does that give him?
But no, it forces that director to do less takes.
Oh, I know, but
shortens his own day.
Oh, so you're saying but once he's why does him saying hoo-ha like? So he's just doing that to be a dick.
Yeah,
it's not like
it's not enhancing the performance.
It's not like he has to hold it in and then he's like
Every time he says hoo-ha, the editors later have to edit it out.
Oh,
so the more he does that, the more like it's just we can't. It's not sustainable. Like after the 4th hour,
after a while, I'm going to get tired and I will start saying hoo-ha, hoo-ha. You won't even know why, whether I'm saying it for the character or whether I'm saying it as I really mean hoo-ha.
And that starts to spread too. Next thing you know, you have Johnny saying it.
Spread that hoo-ha around.
All the actors get wind of it.
So
what else you got?
So she says, "Oh, I know. You're just jealous because because he's a real man."
Yeah,
I can't even do it because my voice is weak.
Sounds like Planet of the Apes.
It's like when that kid goes, no, that's the kid finds when Taylor's sneaking around the ape compound and there's like a church thing and one of a kid ape comes out and he sees Charlton Heston and he goes, "It's a man. It's a man."
Oh, that's funny. We both went to Planet of the Apes.
Well, is that what
it's from?
That's what the kid definitely says. It's a man.
It's a man.
Yeah, when he sees the. Interesting that they would still use the word man for now that even though they're savage animals.
Oh, in Planet of the Apes.
In Planet of the Apes. I guess man could just be like, it's a giraffe. You're just seeing something that is just you know, to them that means there's no dignity in the word man.
Yeah.
So
didn't they have the old books too?
Scrolls.
The old scrolls, which probably referred to man. Or maybe not, because we think of the old scrolls as being old to us. They're probably after we lived.
Yeah, they're technically...
They're new scrolls to us.
Yeah, they're technically not even written yet.
Yeah.
They're pre-scrolls.
Pre-scrolls. So what does she... So then she... what does Fredo... How does he respond to her?
He says, like, you don't shut up, I'm going to belt you right here on the floor.
Yeah.
And then she
punches him in the shoulder.
She doesn't punch. She kind of like shoves
him out of the way, walking back on a dance floor. Says, you couldn't belt your own mama.
You couldn't belt your mama.
Wow.
The way she says it too, she's all like laughing.
Oh man, this is insulting. You couldn't belt your mama.
Oh, you couldn't belt your mama. Which is a weird thing to say.
Yeah, because it's true.
Why would you? If it is true, she's right.
Yeah.
She's right.
What would have been a better comeback to that? All right, I'll be Fredo. If you don't stop, I'm gonna bounce you right here, knock your teeth in.
Oh, you couldn't belt your mama. Oh wait, that's the real thing.
That's the real one. Hey, I swear, if you don't stop dancing like that, I'm gonna belt you right here on the dance floor.
You couldn't belt Merle Johnson.
Who's that? Merle who? She just confuses him. That's how
you met him at the party last time.
Yeah, she's got spirit, doesn't she?
She's got spunk.
Yeah, she. We didn't even talk about when she first fell.
Yeah, right. I think this is the first time she actually falls down.
No, at the very beginning, the minute she falls, that's when Michael nods to Rocco that he's got to...
Yeah, isn't that the one you're talking about? The first time she falls down?
Yeah.
Did you have something you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, the actual fall itself.
Yeah.
It's like she falls through a trap door. It's not like she stumbles. She drops like straight down. You didn't notice that?
I noticed it, but are you saying it's a good fall? Or I mean, she's really falling. It's not like she's faking it.
Yeah,
but you're saying
I hate to say this. It kind of seemed like Frankie Five Angels' wine spill. It seems like I'm supposed to fall now. I'm just going to drop on my butt. Yeah, like she truly just vertically everything went down synchronously. It's not like she stumbled or her hand moved out.
You're saying that was a staged demolition and that this was not what everyone thinks it is.
Well, now I'm wondering, did the actress stage it, or did the character stage it? Maybe this is her way to kind of stick it to Fredo. Stick it to old Fredo.
In one of our time travel stories, we're going to have when someone is like coming back to this moment, they're going to be the ones who trip. You know what I mean? Like they're going to redo that footage, and someone's going to be like crawling across the floor, and she trips over there, and that's why she falls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Something like that. So.
But anyway, I just want to point that out.
It's going to be tough to do a convincing fall like that.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to really hurt yourself.
Yeah.
And you don't want to...
just flat down, boom, on her butt.
By
the way, when this whole thing is happening, did you notice there's a shot to one of the dinner tables of all these people staring at her?
Yeah.
And it's all of like, the Corleone women. It's Kay. It's... Tom Hagen's wife, Teresa there. I think Mama might be there, and they're all just staring at her with contempt. But it kind of got me wondering, like, are they maybe looking on not with jealousy, but just imagining like, oh wow, what would it be like to truly fight back? I mean, Kay, as we know, is not happy.
Right.
And so maybe she sees a little bit of herself in Deanna Corleone.
Well, that's what like we talked about last week, is that Kay was sympathetic to Deanna because Deanna was always like the outsider, and Kay knew what that was.
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine that over time, Mama probably grudgingly accepted Kay because they had a family, they had kids. And
yeah.
So she was like, So Deanna should have had a kid with Fredo to get Mama's respect.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Respect!
That's what they named the kid.
Respect Corleone. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
I told you that's all I ever wanted was respect. Now I got him. Oh, that's terrible. Now would that kid grow up with a respect deficit, so always needing to live up to his name?
Respect deficit disorder.
Yeah.
I don't know how those
RDD,
those novelty names work. Like, it's tough because so far, like, I heard a good one yesterday. What was it?
A novelty name?
Yeah. Like somebody getting named there. But anyway, you always hear about that. Like I remember you used to tell me some of the kids you would encounter in the Bronx, like Giannis or things like that. Like, I guess, is there anyone? I guess like Prince. Prince was someone who was given that name as a kid, and he was just a regular guy, and he became famous. I'm trying to think of other cases where someone who has been given a name like that, born like a boy named Sue.
Oh, the opposite, you mean?
Yeah. Didn't we do a boy named Sue joke
a couple
of weeks ago?
We did. Respect Corleone.
But in general, like if you're a regular kid growing up in a regular school and your name is Respect, that's tough.
That's rough.
It's good if you're like someone who like a cool person, but if you're like some dork and your name is Respect,
But can you become a cool person with a name Respect? Or would you have to fight for it? Like, would you get picked on early and you'd have to kick some asses, and then you would get respect and you eventually get some friends?
I feel like early on you'd have to do that, but well, if you were really cool, then you could be cool with any name, really, if you are genuinely cool.
Oh, I see. So it's more about the person and not the person makes the name.
Yeah,
you're saying.
But if the person is just like physically awkward or like especially short or gangly or stinky or like has a really high pitched voice or really low pitch.
Why you keep going on about that? You're staring right at me. You keep going on all these different attributes. What are you trying to say?
Well, I'm just saying you're not a real man.
So the dialogue gets great here as this continues.
So do you think Fredo should have proven her wrong and went over and belted Mama to prove that he could? Do you think?
Oh, belted Mama.
Yeah, is that what she was trying to get to have? Oh, you couldn't belt your Mama. And he's like, I'll show you.
Yeah. And she's like, no, Baba.
So So then while they're struggling, while Deanna's making a big scene, and she's like, "Oh,
With
never marry
Fredo.
a wop. They treat their
So Rocco goes up to Fredo
yeah,
and says, "Hey, Michael said if you can't take care of this,
yeah,
I have to." And then Fredo responds and says, "Maybe you better."
yeah. You should go.
And then Rocco kind of gives him like a tap on the cheek.
Does he really? Oh,
Yeah, I thought
that.
originally it was in front, but I think it's kind of not in a disrespectful way. It was just kind of, I think he kind of felt bad for him.
Right, like it's all right, kid.
Yeah. So then Rocco goes out to the floor, and meanwhile you hear Deanna still ranting.
Well, while Rocco is talking to Fredo, did you notice the weird harmonica solo going on?
No.
It's so weird.
What?
Okay,
Okay, I'm gonna have to go back.
you have to watch it. When
I can't
Rocco's
believe I
talking,
missed
it
that.
almost sounds like someone at the table is just like playing a harmonica, just kind of like, and it's not like with the music. It's not part of the band.
Yeah.
It's like someone just doing it, like sitting at the table.
Are they near the campfire? Because we saw that there's someone with a guitar.
It's right near. Oh, maybe.
I'm just
Fredo
wondering if it's, back then, people played more.
If you want to pause and
more.
watch it, we could do that.
I'll check it out later.
Check them out.
Yeah.
But it's just so weird. So
I didn't
I don't know
notice
what
it.
was supposed to be going on in that scene.
Okay.
But so then he goes over and then
Well, as he's going over, you hear Deanna saying, "Never marry." What does she say? Never marry a Dago. They treat their wives like
she says
shit.
wop. She says wop
No,
at that
then
point.
she says she used both. First, she said, "Never marry Dago. They treat their wives like shit." And then she said,
I think we're discussing an R-rated movie. I think you can probably get away with saying the
and
S
then
word.
she said something with wop. And then she starts saying, as Rocco's approaching, he's like, "Oh, I didn't mean to say wop."
Yeah, that was funny.
That's right, as Rocco's grabbing
What I
her.
like about that is she's not saying she wasn't discounting the sentiment. She wasn't saying like, "Oh no, I didn't mean to say that about Italian guys." She just meant like, "I didn't mean to say wop." Like they do, you really shouldn't marry wop, but I didn't mean to say the word wop. So
yeah, she's not. She's choosing very odd words. The whole that whole thing. You couldn't. You couldn't belt your mama. It didn't make sense.
That's the thing about actors. People think that they're smart because they see them in the movie and they're saying smart things, but they're dumb.
No, she's smart. Not like people say.
Should he have married like a PhD, like a college PhD professor or something like that?
That's a way to get respect.
Yeah,
I think Mikey would have respected that.
Yeah.
I respect intelligence.
But she probably wouldn't have. She would not have respected Fredo
Why not?
because he's weak.
Well,
He's so sensitive. Yeah. What she said, you remember?
So helpless without you. He's so helpless without you, even though you're not his father.
Why do you come to me?
Because I need a travel agent. Hey, right before we started recording today, Alex was talking about Connie, but the way he said it, it sounded like Carney Corleone.
Carney Corleone, the long lost runaway sibling who joined
Corleone.
Oh, hey, speaking of nicknames and speaking of
don't forget you're the fax machine. I don't want to lose that one.
We want to do we asked, we answered.
Yeah, you got some?
Yeah, we got 2 items to address.
Okay. So the first question.
Number 1, did Sandra Corleone, Sonny's widow, remarry? According to the Godfather Wikipedia, no, she did not remarry. She remained close to the Corleones. In fact, she was at the baptism in the last movie, and she's apparently she was here at the communion because she was in the deleted scene where one of the twin girls is coming to ask Mikey's permission. One of Sonny's daughters is coming, so she's there.
Yeah.
And also she's later on at Mama's funeral too.
Yeah,
Spoiler alert, right there.
Yeah.
She never remarried, but she was in a long-term relationship with Stan the Liquor Man Jablonski.
Who's that?
Some big business connection that the Corleones knew, the liquor man.
Okay.
So,
the liquor man. Hey, he's Chicago's best liquor man.
Taking you around town with a liquor man.
Drinking cocktails around the world with some liquor man who uses you like a mojito. Ooh-ha.
Your liquor isn't even dry yet.
Chicago, we've made a deal.
Godfather Minute 30 drawn to a close.
We're almost there, Alex.
But we're only halfway through. If you want to hear the rest of the program, go to godfatherminute.com/support. And we talk more about Deanna Dunn and the doings of her.
And don't forget to check out my original band, the Underdog Night Soldiers, on Spotify, iTunes, everywhere else, where we do have some original Godfather novelty songs. Alex, have you listened to them lately?
No!